Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Meet the Deedles, not the Beatles. Meet the Deedles. It's a movie starring Paul Walker, the late Paul Walker, and he's one of two twin brothers. The other one played by Steve Van Wormer. He did not apparently appear in any Fast and Furious films, as far as I know. But yeah, so they play twin brothers who we're about to check off some Disney tropes here. Live in Hawaii, ding, and are now they're trouble. They just turned 18, and they flew off school to go parasailing and surfing, of course, because it's Hawaii and everybody has to surf. Um, and because of that, their dad decides to punish them by sending them to a camp on the mainland, fish out of water. So yeah, it's got those things right off the bat in the first 5 minutes or so. So yeah, their punishment is to go to the horrendous mainland where there isn't any surfing, specifically in Wyoming, where Yellowstone National Park is. Through a series of mishaps, they end up somehow on the Yellowstone Park Ranger crew. I'm not even going to explain it to you because it's pretty absurd. It's wacky. Honestly, this could have been a cartoon if done right. And there's so many cartoonish moments. Yeah, the CGI, the visual effects in this are not good at all, especially when they're trying to surf like a river in Wyoming, and also when they're just parasailing, also just sitting in a thing under a parachute, being pulled by a boat. Of course, the actors weren't going to go up in that necessarily, so they just put them in front of a green screen. There's also some wacky scenes with the geyser with the Yellowstone National Park. Geyser Old Faithful, which figures humongously into this storyline. But yeah, of course, I've lost all track of what I was talking about here. I'm just jumping all over the place. One of the things is once they become part of the park ranger team, they've impersonated two others two women, but of course, since their names are fairly non-gender specific, they were mistaken for the women, and even though they stole their underwear, this is sort of like the PG version of Dumb and Dumber, but with a little Bill and Ted thrown in, and yeah, they're deep into surf speak, and they're so out of place. Of course, hunky Paul Walker falls for the hot stepdaughter of the park ranger chief, whatever, the guy in charge, and his twin brother. Again, they must be fraternal twins. They don't look anything alike. His twin brother is super smart, so he's got the deus ex machina of being able to figure everything out with computers and create all sorts of gadgets and stuff that they need to pretend that they're a competent pair that are going to help the park rangers get rid of the overflowing prairie dog problem, which is a thing. Apparently, prairie dogs get in the way of the billionth anniversary of Old Faithful geyser shooting off. It's an estimation at best, obviously, because they didn't have, time tracking a billion years ago. But anyway, all sorts of wackiness commences, and they come into conflict with the man behind the prairie dog attacks, or not. They're not attacks. They're just overflowing everywhere, just getting in the way of campsites, and people are freaked out. They're just prairie dogs. I don't think they're violent at all, but they're a little bit obnoxious, I guess. But the guy behind it all is Dennis Hopper. So if you could pick a bad guy for to go up against in a movie like this, yeah, you're gonna pick Dennis Hopper because he's gonna bring the crazy to a new level. I mean, yeah, and then he has like one of his henchmen. I can't remember the other name of the other guy, but one of his henchmen is Robert Englund, Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street. So he gets to play a dumb, bumbling henchman in this movie. I don't understand how. This is 1998, by the way. So it has so many 90s-ish things to it. Robert Englund could have been the evil mastermind behind this, but I think Dennis Hopper choose scenery so much better in a non-horror situation. Robert Englund would have been great as the bad guy if it was a much scarier film, I think. But yeah, Dennis Hopper, he lives underground and he has this elaborate plan that we don't learn until really till the third act, but it's pretty wacky out there. And yes, like I said, it's so cartoonish, even from how they deliver lines and how Paul Walker is just so absolutely stupid in this movie. He's hilariously stupid, though. He's actually really great. He's so stupid. He keeps calling it Jellystone instead of Yellowstone, and he's curious about how Yogi exists in this place, and his brother insists that Yogi's not a thing, except he does see a bear roaming through the woods wearing a hat and carrying a picnic basket, which is a result of them crashing into a circus truck, which wasn't very big, but apparently held an elephant, a bear, and a lion all together at the same time, not in separate cages. I'm digressing a whole lot. There's a whole lot more to this. This is a fairly complex hour and 30 some minutes, hour and 34 minutes. Yeah, it's not smart, but it's actually really funny for its time. Like I said, for its time, the late 80s, it's the late 80s because all the music is pretty much ska. It's ska. It's pretty amazing. It's a nice little time travel back to that era. Yeah. I can't tell if this was actually put out in movie theaters or not, or if it was just a Disney type movie. It looks like it was put in theaters. Yeah, I from what I can tell here, there's no. Yeah, it's unusual. It's a little bit more out there, risque for a Disney type film. It's not, doesn't play it safe, but it's also not, anything that kids can't handle. It's actually surprisingly funny and weirdly quotable. It feels like if you grew up with this kind of movie, you'd find a connection over some of this dialogue with other people. I completely missed it. I've never seen it before this moment. So, yeah. If you haven't seen it and you like to revisit some old Paul Walker and you still got a crush on him, watch this movie. And forgive the horrible special effects. It surprisingly moves along pretty well and is a fun, not surprising story. It's all the just little digressions that it takes throughout that make it kind of funny. Other people in this are like MC Gainey and Anna Gasteyer and oh god, I don't know. It's just a bunch of different people peppered throughout. So I actually enjoyed it. I did not expect to like it at all. I just figured it was another movie not made for me. And it's not. I mean, maybe, when I was much younger in 1998, it might have gotten my attention, but honestly, it's for teenagers. By the way, the characters in this movie, the twins here, they're supposed to be turning 18 in this movie. I have no idea how old they actually were at this time, but yeah, it's just kind of funny how it all happens. So, if you get a chance, pick up Meet the Deedles on Disney Plus. Check it out. And yeah, even if you saw it before, it's time to revisit it. If you haven't, you might be kind of pleasantly surprised. It's not Dumb and Dumber quality, but it tries. So it's worth it. It's worth killing an hour and a half on if you're into that sort of thing. All right, let's pick tomorrow's number. Thanks for not resetting on me once again. 203. 203. What do we got here? Oh, two. I thought this number seemed familiar because we've had the series. This is apparently a movie based on the series. Disney Channel movie. And unfortunately, hey, it's March, everybody. We're going back to Christmas time. But we're visiting the family from Good Luck Charlie. Good Luck Charlie. It's Christmas. For a minute there, I thought it was going to be Charlie Brown. I was like, wait, that's not a Disney thing. Not yet. But yeah, Good Luck Charlie, it's Christmas. So we'll be watching that. It's probably like an hour long kind of special kind of thing for the Disney Channel. So yeah, Good Luck Charlie, it's Christmas. Let's do more Christmas on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow. What else you gotta do? Bye.